We're talking here with Paris Gore. Paris is in Reno, Nevada right now. What are you doing in Reno?
Yeah, down here at Interbike Trade Show and just helping my dad out with his little project. And then, kind of nice place too, just see some industry folk and kind of say hi and hellos to everyone. So, yeah, good little week to come down and see Reno. Never been here before.
You've
And
never been to Reno?
no, yeah, it's pretty
Wow.
cool. Lots of mountains around.
Right, right.
Yeah.
So you mentioned your dad was making a turn signal for street bikes, or
Yeah, street bike commuters like you would, Amsterdam or, like a Euro electric commuter. And you could, essentially plug it into your bike, and it's like a high intelligent turn signal system basically that can integrate into intelligent commuting for bikes, just as cars would.
cool. Does it have a name yet, or?
We're still working on it. It's not really like a to market product. Like we would be kind of manufacture or helping manufacture to sell it to like a bigger endemic brand, and then help innovate it and place that into one of their bicycle lines or products.
So I guess last week I saw you did a post on a trail running shoot on Instagram. What was that all about?
Yeah, like it seems like I end up doing it once a year, and I wish I did more, but um, I really enjoy trail running, and it's like you you get so tight in this bubble of mountain biking where you can only go in certain places on a mountain bike, right? Like the Baker Wilderness is like a vast wilderness of trails and super scenic area where you can't legally take a mountain bike anyway, and so it's if you're just stuck in the bike bubble, you're never going to get to these like different cool places. And so it's really fun to go photograph and like go up there and just bag some portfolio images, and which is kind of what I'm working on. Like, aside from the bike stuff, like I've got like a really good tight portfolio of the bikes, and don't really need to shoot by time. I really need to like work on my portfolio outside of bikes just to get other gigs outside of the bike industry.
Right.
And so it's a good time for me, like, just to go have fun. Like, I get so sucked in the bike scene, and it's like work, 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 and then you're done and winter's here. So it's good to just go have fun, take some photos, and like just enjoy the scene and do what I want to do, right? Um, and generally I've done like overnighters. Just you can, bag a way more variety of shots just by going overnight. So my friend Spencer Paxson and his wife Sarah, they're like these amazing athletes on everything. But Spencer's quite famous on a bike, but they're super good runners too. So them and my friend Craig, we all went up, shot the evening, kind of backpacked in this zone like near Mount Baker, and yeah, just got some trail running stuff, slept overnight, woke up, and we're out by 9 a.m.
Yeah, it's interesting you say that because I kind of think trail running is the ultimate photography sport because it's
Yeah,
very easy to photograph and
it
there's
is.
motion and action.
Mm-hmm.
It's the only issue is running with the runners if you're doing big terrain.
Yeah, for sure.
But so where was that? You said was that at Baker in
Yeah,
the
Baker Wilderness on Ptarmigan Ridge. It's kind of like, Baker's, right here, and it's like one of these little valleys, and then it's like a little ridge just kind of just one valley away from Baker itself, really.
how
Yeah.
far are you from Baker?
I'm at so you can almost drive like to a lot that just takes a trail up there. That's like an hour and a half
All right.
just to the lot, and then it was like a 3 hour hike in. So, you know, door to door, 5 hours probably. But yeah, the access is amazing. Like you can't get in the Alpine where I live, so hiking or trail running is kind of the only way you can access like killer views and good light. Otherwise, you're just stuck in the woods shooting spotty light mountain biking.
So you kind of touched on it, but the overlap of mountain bike and trail running,
hmm
it seems like it's two different areas, but do you think you approach it with the same visual and product in mind?
Yeah, I think so, and I think there's a lot to learn too, right? Like you're shooting this newer sport to to your bag of tools, right? So it's like you're learning what looks good and why it looks good, right? Not like going into mountain biking, you're like, okay, like, well, that's not going to work. But with running, you can kind of just play around more, and like you get back down to the basics of why you're out there. It's like having fun, and it's not that like mountain biking's not fun, but you're using your skills in this other department and applying them into like a new category that you've never shot before. So it's like exciting, and you're like just new scenes, there's new light, there's new places and things like that just excite your brain. So that's where I really like to focus my energy, and I think it's been a good output.
Do you think, like, just say the roles were reversed and there was a running photographer, and do you think he would be ultra nitpicky about the running style, and like you would be with hitting a berm?
Yeah, for sure. That's where I'm picky about what I'm doing, and like I don't want it. Like I see people that never shoot mountain biking, right?
Yeah.
And or skiing or something, like, we know these sports super well, and I think it's, I would say, wise to like understand what you're shooting, because if something doesn't look good on, maybe the photography end looks great, but like maybe the runner looks awkward. If I saw that in a mountain biking image, I would totally just write off that photographer, and not, and maybe that's being harsh, but like, you'd see it and be like,
Yeah, I heard it.
oh,
I
it's like,
understand.
oh, you don't want to see like a
Yeah,
mountain biking image where the rider's totally whack. And
yeah.
then you obviously just kind of associate that with the skill level of photographer. Maybe he's a great photographer, he or she, but
I'm
yeah.
completely on board with that. The only thing is that I almost in the last like year, I've caught myself, because I'm no longer in my 20s,
Hmm.
that catching myself completely out of date on things, and I actually think that's like, um, I don't know. Not that it affects my photography, because I don't really
Yeah.
shoot a lot certain things, but they
Hmm.
could,
Yeah.
It's
And I don't think like with running, it's not as specific as biking. So it's a lot easier to know, like I've shot with professional runners, and like I review shots with them, and I've learned what looks good. And I mean, you can tell with someone shooting that looks good running
yeah,
where they look good and where they don't look good. It's like pretty easy. Whereas bikes, you still might think it looks good, but it's totally the wrong move or something. Um, but like, yeah, I don't want to put work out there that's going to have,
yeah.
someone with the leg that's all cattywampus or
Well,
something.
this is an example of what I was talking about with age. Is that I was talking to Sven Martin
Hmm.
last month, and he was
Nice.
telling me about the gap between uh, shorts and knee pad with
Oh
enduro
yeah.
guys.
Yeah.
And I can't remember what the name he had. I'll have to.
Gaper gap.
No, it wasn't
No,
Gaper
no,
Gap.
no.
So Gaper Gap, I know from
So like the
from
helmet.
here,
Yeah.
but this was like I
Yeah.
never knew this was an issue between knee pads and shorts. And he
Yeah.
was basically saying um, some photo editors for magazines will edit in, will fill the gap, will clone the gap in.
Interesting. I
But
haven't heard
it's
that.
just
Yeah,
small details, and I was
for
just like,
sure.
"What? That's a thing now? Fair enough.
Yeah,
It
apparently
makes
so.
sense, but
Yeah. Yeah,
still
and it's not
stinks."
like, you shouldn't like not go out and shoot something, but just researching and like understanding what you're doing does
Yeah,
have, I don't want to say consequences, but like, if you have enough images out there that are kind of janky, like you're going to be associated like that. So
yeah.
just as a business perspective.
So
Yeah.
what gear are you using on a shoot like this, from camera to whatever?
Yeah, the gear I'm using on like a running shoot like this, since we're overnighting, I actually have to bring a lot more anyway, like, sleeping bag and a bivy, sleeping pad, food, stove, it's another 10 pounds. But ideally, I would bring a mirrorless setup, but I just got a XT2 with like a 16 millimeter lens. And I've still been playing around with that, and it's like, it's good, it's working, but like in a pro shoot setting, I just want to use like the gear I'm really dialed with, which is Nikon D850, 7200, 1424, and a 2470. And that's all in my medium core unit, and then using the 60-liter bag to like, have all the other gear to go along with it. So that's like, it definitely adds up when you add in overnight gear. So it's
Right.
it's a haunch, and I definitely would want to be using mirrorless setups in the future. But right now, like, I just have it to play around with and get better using it and just more comfortable. But yeah, if I was going out, like, I just like the compression of a 7200 and other amenities of, a mirrored body.
Especially shooting like alpine stuff with action.
Yeah,
Compressing the image is huge.
for sure.
Big help.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's a weight penalty, but I'm young and I can,
Yeah.
20 years from now, different story, but yeah.
I feel like the weight penalty at that age, even now, it really only exists when I'm packing. It doesn't
Hmm.
actually exist once I'm on the trail and the bag's on my back.
For
It's
sure.
just, I don't know, a war
Yeah.
you go through in your head before you leave.
Yeah. Totally. Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm gonna wrap this up, but
Cool.
enjoy
Yeah.
your Reno adventures. Good luck
Yeah.
with the turn signals.
Yeah.
And
Thanks, Ian.
cool. All right, we'll talk to you next time.
All right. Talk to you soon, man.
All right, take
Cheers.
care. Bye bye.
Bye bye.